That was funny. Uh, uh-oh. Hold up. Hold up. What? Wait a minute. What? What the, what? Wait a minute. How did I forget that last one? What? Why am I so stupid? Okay, what? Dude. Why is my brain so dumb? Okay, well, I had in my mind that I would have picked the Eagles. I thought I picked the Eagles, but I guess I just never wrote it down. So, it's fine. Um, darn it. Okay. Um, like, I had in my mind, like, I thought I had written it down, and I thought I picked the Eagles, so that failed. Okay, so no. Isn't this music just so wonderful? And also, I made this mistake again. Oh. So we have 126 plus 10 is 136. Oh my gosh, I just realized I could leave it right here. I never realized I could just leave it right there. 82 plus 6 is 88. Oh, really? 61%. Are you serious? Come on. Wait, 10-6 is only 63%. It's actually only 62.5%. I got screwed by last week because I went 6 and 9. That's why I'm still at 61%. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I was like, the Lions have just been doing bad lately, so I picked the Broncos, but then they had to just go and decide that they're good again. So there you go. This one, nobody could. You can't ever predict the Panthers to win a game. So can't really blame me for that one. And then, um, well, now the Packers. I thought the Packers were good, but and the Buccaneers were really bad for like the middle part of the season because they had like a massive losing streak, and the Packers were kind of improving, and then of course it completely switches again. This one, you can hardly blame me for picking the Titans because the Texans were missing so many people. They were missing C.J. Stroud, Tank Dell, and Nico Collins. How could I possibly predict them to win? But they won, so that's fun. And then this one, the Cowboys were like on a streak of blowing out everything they played, and the Bills, while they are getting better, they weren't like the best earlier in the season. So I picked the Cowboys, and then that was wrong. And this one, obviously, the Eagles are like 10-4. Seahawks were 6-7, and they were. I guess I didn't really know they were starting Drew Lock, but like that was upset. So, anyways, that's fine. That was very. Stop. Stop. So again, I would have picked the Eagles. Well, thought I had picked the Eagles, but apparently I hadn't written it down. But I had picked the Eagles in my mind, so and it goes against me anyways. So you can't say I'm cheating. So, and don't make the same mistakes every single time. Beginning to change this. So. Oh, Browns Texans. That's gonna be kind of interesting. It kind of depends on the injury report for the Texans. Again, and also something I've realized is I can't just check the injury report. I also have to check the injured reserve list because that has players there. Because the injury report doesn't include players on injured reserve. So. Dude, I want to go back to my old video and see how I managed to forget to put that last game. How could I possibly forgotten that? How? Dude, I have to go back and look at that. I am gonna go back and look at that right now. How did I do that? How? Seriously. Can you Stratfield? I think it's this one, right? Okay, how am I so dumb? Get it? How am I so dumb? Where was I right? Okay, right. Yeah, dude, dude. Seriously? Come on, man. So dumb. You are so dumb. How can I miss that? Okay. Wait, what the heck just happened? How did this happen? What? Why? How did I do this? I keep worrying. Now I keep worrying that I'm gonna mess up again. And also, this is not. I'm not missing a game here. I'm not missing a game. What is going on? How did I write that extra line? I have 16 games. Not missing any. It has taken me 10 minutes to get to this point. Um, I'm not gonna overthink it. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna think about matchups. Because you could easily say, oh wow, the Steelers defense maybe is gonna finally put a stop to Jake Browning. Um, wow, that's interesting. That is a tank bowl right there. And that one again is I'm gonna have to check injuries for the Texans and Browns probably because that's gonna affect stuff. Um, again, well, even with Drew Lock, they're probably still a better team than the Titans. I might have to just go with the Seahawks regardless here, even if they have Drew Lock. I think I'll just not even look it up. I mean, they did just beat the Eagles, so. I know it's kind of these two teams are like on opposite trajectories. Like the Jaguars are falling, and the Buccaneers are rising. Man, like based on that, now it's kind of a tough one. But I might just go with the Jaguars there. But let's see. Ooh, that's actually interesting. That is interesting. Dolphins, Cowboys. That's an actual game this week. Huh. This one. Wow, this is one of the rare ones where I might actually pick the Bears to win. Leaning Bears on that one. I'm okay. Other than week one I picked the Bears because I had no idea how bad they'd be. And then the only other time I picked the Bears to win a game was when they played the Panthers. Oh man. Easy. Another easy one. I know the Raiders just scored 63 points, but it doesn't really mean that much. It's just one game. And there was a lot of random stuff that went their way in that game. I noticed like it was like a bunch of fumbles and like pick sixes and stuff. And they were playing the Chargers with Easton Stick. So, anyways, I know the Eagles are having a rough time lately, but it's still the Giants. They cannot. At least it's making it easy for me. Sometimes teams have like massive swings, and it's like, oh crap, it's gonna be impossible to predict them now. And then they play a team so incredibly bad that it's like, oh okay, thank goodness, I don't have to think about that this week. And then the Ravens 49ers is very, very interesting, but still going with 49ers. Okay. Actually, you know what's interesting about this week? Like, there's really not that many games. Like, I could just be lazy and be like, well, Jets have a better record, so them. Jaguars have a better record, pick them. Um, hmm, that one's tough because I would have picked the Cowboys before last week, but then they went and got blown out by the Bills, so it's a little bit more difficult. This one, I think I'm going to lean Bears. So there's really not that many tough games to pick this week. Oh, wait, there's Texans, Browns. Darn it. Okay. Am I picking the Bears? I am picking the Bears. I'm actually doing it. It is such a rare thing to happen this season. Me picking the Bears to win a game. Um, so do I want to do I want to look at the last few games and be like, the Buccaneers are doing really well lately, and the Jaguars are doing very poorly lately. I might want to pick the upset in this case. But I don't know. Well, okay, Browns Tech. I'm gonna look up the Browns Texans injury report, and also, I guess I gotta also look up other stuff. Okay, Browns. Texans. Oh no, CJ Stroud is out another week? Oh, come on, man. He's out 2 weeks with the concussion. Why? That's disappointing. Man. Browns. We've got. I don't know who the starters are, though. I just don't know. I need to also look at injury reserve. Down a couple of linebackers and Ankaranglo defensive end. Oh, good. At least they're getting their starting center back, I think. So, and also maybe a starting O lineman could come back. Texans, we got Will Anderson, Blake Cashman, C.J. Stroud. Nico Collins is questionable. What about Tank Dell? Is Tank Dell back? Or is he out for the season? This is where I need to look at the injured reserve, and the only way I know how to look at that is to just look at their depth chart. Because I've never actually tried to look at that before. So, Browns depth chart. Browns, Deshaun Watson, injured reserve team. Grant, Nick Chubb, Jedrick Wills. Again, I don't know. I just don't know who. They may. I think that they said they're getting their starting. At least they're getting their starting. Man, I had no idea they were missing both their starting tackles and their starting center last time. Like, holy crap! Are these two starters on the offensive line? Probably, right? DeJuan Jones, dang man, they're still putting out a backup offensive line pretty much, except for maybe these two guys. Or no, I think these three guys are all starters, right? These two are backups. So they have they have two backup tackles still. And then on the defense, we have some names I kind of recognize. Is Denzel Ward back? Oh, interesting. Grant Delpit. Acme McLeod. So again, so their offensive line is for 2 linebackers, defensive end. Now we'll look at the Texans. You know what's funny about this? I'm not getting enough information here. Nico Collins questionable. Tank Dell injured reserve. Yeah, they're still missing their 2 best wide receivers. And they're still missing CJ Stroud. Injured reserve. Lots of injured reserve on the offensive line. And I don't really recognize all the names, fortunately. Gosh dang it, that didn't help at all. Are you serious? It would help if I actually knew who all those players were. It's like both teams are injured quite a bit. But probably the Texans are worst off. Probably. I don't. Because they're missing their starting quarterback and their 2 best wide receivers. That is huge. While the Browns are missing their offensive tackles and linebackers, like, I don't know. I mean, that's bad, but not as bad as missing your quarterback, although they technically are missing their quarterback. Sean Watson's got injured. But anyways. It was very interesting. Yeah, last week I picked the Texans to lose to the Titans. Okay, but here's the difference. They barely beat the Titans last week. The Titans are not good. Now they're playing the Browns. And yes, the Browns are injured. They have Joe Flacco quarterback, but they're still really good. They're still way better than the Titans, right? At this point. Like I feel like TFG has both these teams ranked a little bit too highly in his power rankings, but like the Browns are way, way better than the Titans, and the Texans barely beat the Titans last week, right? With all those, with their quarterback and 2 best wide receivers out, they barely beat the Titans. Now they're going against the Browns, significantly better than the Titans, even with their injuries. So I'm gonna go with Browns. That was funny. That was funny. That. Do you get lucky with the music here? Kind of. No, it's just because I've listened to. Okay, stop. Wow, Jets Commanders. That's like which horrible team do I want to pick to win this one? Probably the Jets. Do they even have Zach Wilson? I can't be bothered to look at their depth charts. Like, who is starting at quarterback for either team? I don't even know. If the Jets are starting Trevor Simeon, I might actually have to think about this. But let's see who the Commanders are starting. They're probably starting Jacoby Brissett, actually. Let's just go with quarterback. Dude, it's not saying who started. Let's go Sam Howell. Do they not know who's starting? I know he was benched in the middle of the game, but is he going to be benched for the foreseeable future? Come on, just tell me already. Who is starting quarterback for the Commanders this week? Just tell me already. Zach Wilson's ruled out. So, man, it's Trevor Siemian. I mean, he is better than Tim Boyle, but not that much better. It says that they're going to keep him as the starter. That's weird. Because Jacoby Brissett was playing way better than Sam Howell last week. Man, this is kind of tough. It's like, wait, do I really think Zach Wilson is that much better than Trevor Siemian? It's like inconsistent. Sometimes he is way better, sometimes he's worse. He's just inconsistent. And then Trevor Siemian is just consistently at a certain level. It's kind of tough, but I think the Jets defense is gonna probably just win the game for them. Like the Commanders are just terrible when they trade away two of their players in the middle of the season. It's been hate myself. That was fun. Okay, we get these two games. Hey, finally, it's not a Broncos game. That's the last game I have to choose. I finally got an easy one for the Broncos. We're playing the Patriots, so it's easy. This one's tough because these two teams are like trending towards each other, like in opposite direction, or they're trending. The Jaguars are falling down. The Buccaneers are rising, and now that it's to the point where it's like, oh man, this is actually kind of tough. But maybe it's because the Buccaneers just played some really bad defenses. But I mean, the Jaguars' defense isn't that great either lately, has it? What is the quote unquote rise of the Buccaneers here? It is their last three games that they've won here are Panthers, Falcons, Packers. Think about it, folks. The Panthers are the Panthers. The Falcons are the Falcons. Like the Falcons have been really bad, but they've been kind of inconsistent. Sometimes they win randomly, but it's the Falcons. And then they beat the Packers defense led by Joe Barry. Their defensive coordinator is Joe Barry. So maybe I shouldn't be taking those wins very seriously. And how about the Jaguars? How come they've been terrible lately? Well, not terrible, but they've been losing a lot of games lately. Which games have they lost? Weirdly enough, their slide here has been the last three games. And it's been to the Bengals, Browns, and the Ravens. Hey, guys, that is very clearly a much more difficult schedule than the Buccaneers have had last 3 weeks. The Jaguars had to play the Bengals, the Browns, and the Ravens. Bengals, Jake Browning was literally like Joe Burrow in that game. It was almost like they were playing against Joe Burrow there. The Browns, I know it's a little bit more questionable, but And then the Ravens are the Ravens. The Ravens are like one of the best teams in the league. The Buccaneers played the Panthers, the Falcons, and the Packers. The Jaguars played the Bengals, Browns, and Ravens. So maybe it's a false image, like a false narrative to say that, yeah, they lost their last three, the Buccaneers won their last three, but the schedules were completely different. Jaguars had a much tougher schedule. So I'm going to say Jaguars. That's fine. Let me just make sure. I don't feel like looking at the injury report. I'm just going to see if Trevor Lawrence is still starting. Just making sure here. Like he had this injury, but he didn't skip any games. Uh-oh. He's questionable. Dang it, man. You gotta get. You had a concussion? Oh, come on, man. Ah, seriously? You have got to be kidding. Let's go with recent. Hmm. Oh my gosh, dude. Seriously? This is gonna. Whoops, I accidentally clicked on a YouTube video. How is that a YouTube video? This does not lead to YouTube. Oh, wait, never mind. This one was YouTube. This one is website. Nope, those are videos. Stop. Okay. Should I just risk that Trevor Lawrence might not even play? I could literally wait to put this video out. Well, no, I can't because there's some Saturday games. So. Oh, man. Um, I could wait. I could wait to put out this video because no, it's not worth it. Like it. That would just be a tragedy if Trevor Lawrence missed a game and then they lost another game. Because I would probably pick the Buccaneers to win that if Trevor Lawrence wasn't playing. Okay, we'll just go with this last game. How long does this take? 30 minutes? This is taking forever. Gosh. Huh. That is very, very interesting. That last game the Cowboys played is completely changing everything. Because I would have picked them easily, except for the fact that they just lost badly last week. So. What was their loss? I mean, it was to the Bills. Pretty good team, but man, 31 to 10. Not good. But maybe I should just say, oh, that's just one game. I can't really put too much weight on that one. But let's see what the Dolphins have done lately. Lately, they have lost to the Chiefs. Beat the Raiders barely. Blew out the Jets. Blew out the Commanders. Barely lost to the Titans. And then they blew out the Jets 30-0. So, yeah, that's what they've been doing lately. They're both 10-4. I didn't even realize the Dolphins had 10 wins. Oh my gosh. TFG's power rankings. I think he has the Cowboys still above the Dolphins. I don't remember though. They're pretty close. Like, I'm just afraid that the Cowboys are just gonna let me down because of last week. Like, have the Cowboys even beaten a good team? No, they beat the Eagles. They blew out the Eagles, and people are like, "Oh, that is a statement win." And then they got blown out by the Bills. Was it just a bad day? One bad day for them. Um, I wonder if the Dolphins. I wonder if Tyreek Hill is still not in there. Maybe that would be a pretty easy choice if Tyreek Hill is still not there. That's funny. Let's see. Oops. Is he questionable for Sunday's game? Darn it. Dang, man. If he was out, this would be so easy. But I think I'm probably still going to pick the Cowboys. Yeah. Stop. Darn it. It's funny. Like, both of those teams have kind of had the criticism that they can't beat a good team this season. Well, now there is no choice. One of them has to win. So, and then whoever wins is gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, they had a statement win." Well, one of them had to win, so it's not like, I mean, they could both play badly, and then one of them just scratches, just like gets lucky and wins. But anyways, gosh, I'm gonna go Cowboys because it was just one bad game last week. That was funny. I didn't forget any games. There are 16 games here. I didn't forget any. Unlike last week, I forgot game. Gosh dang it, man. That was funny. Wow.